So my article was called the Do I Sound Straight? And the purpose of the study was to find out if speech stereotypes were present in German and gay straight men. It also was to see if how acoustic correlates of actual and perceived sexual orientation were related. In other words, this is meant to test speech stereotype accuracy under the basis of sexual orientation, and also to find out if one's sexual orientation affected how their speech was perceived. So they used 25 gay and 26 straight German speakers, and they submitted their results by means of a self-assessment. They were also asked about their own views of speech in gay and straight men. Researchers obtained a large sample from speakers through a microphone reading from a prepared set and also from impromptu speech. They also used nasometry for this process. The speech samples were analyzed for fundamental frequency and nasality. Listeners were then asked to distinguish whether the speaker was gay or straight. Speech stereotypes of gay and straight men were tested to see if it held a sort of kernel of truth, meaning a single piece of truth that could be found in something that seems totally fictional. And a study by Zwicky supported that different cultures were able to identify between gay and straight men by their speaking patterns. These speaking patterns included intonational features, spectral information such as vowel space characteristics, and also temporal information, which includes voice onset time. They were also measured for breathiness and creakiness in their voice. Many other kinds of factors had to be considered, such as other studies that have not been successful, certain psychological characteristics that seem to coincide with sexual orientation, and also if their coming out experience affected their speech. The study gathered about 54 male speakers around Jena, which was a town in Germany. All were around the same age, ethnicity, and also educational level. Speakers were brought in by the use of bulletin boards, subscriptions, and flyers to take part in an experiment about language and sexuality that were distributed around. The listeners were college students that signed up to this study at their school. And the results indicated that the men that considered themselves as straight, listeners thought they sounded straight as well, due to their low medium fundamental frequency, center gravity in S, and their mean F2. Straight men only showed a lower F1 than gay men. Voice pitch, nasality, chromaticity, and smoothness results all proved higher when it came to gay men. It also showed that the German gay nasal is similar to the American English gay lisp. The one thing that they were able to come to is that this study showed that there was evidence indicating this stereotype to be accurate, but there's also an equal or even larger amount of evidence of the latter. For example, in one study, they found straight men produced a lower center of gravity for S than gay men. 10 years later, another study showed opposite results. So in conclusion, speech stereotypes do not hold a kernel of truth, and speech stereotypes have only proven that there are most likely differences within a group as opposed to outside of them.